Kojanks, and he was telling me that in the same toxicity issue, that it used to be nice when you're dating someone and they're calling you and they're like, "Oh, are you okay? Where are you? What's up? What time are you coming home?" But now, when you try to do that, some women are like, "This is toxic." And I was trying to explain to him that it's a thin line between "Where are you, babe?" because I'm a little worried, and "Where are you, babe?" Like, now when you get home, there's going to be an argument because you said you were going to be home at 8 o'clock and not home at 8 o'clock. And did you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that thin line between the chivalry and then the toxicity.
Yes.
So now let's talk about how we deal with it. How do we say, Esinam, what came into my head was no good.
We beg.
How do we say, I want you to care about me. So I want you to worry if you haven't heard from me in, let's say, 4 hours. And call me and be kind. But I don't want you to be controlling or communicate that in a way that makes me feel like I have to stop what I'm doing and come home.
Yeah.
Because that's the issue, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that when we communicate our needs, we need to be very clear. I don't think in this part of our world we know how to communicate our needs to our partners. I think most often we assume that they should observe and see it. Automatically know.
Mind readers.
Through telekinesis and telepathy. I will know what's going on in your head.
But do you know that when a mother trains her son well, it is not difficult for him to understand the basics of women.
Yes. I think Esinam has said this, and that can't be more true, you see, because...
Did we interrupt you?
Yes.
Sorry.
But it's fine.
Go on. Please finish.
Okay. So in being able to talk about your feelings, in being able to talk about your not necessarily your feelings, your needs, I think that it will come back to my point that I've been making for the past 6 months. Know yourself. When you know yourself, you are able to spot what you need in this moment. Most often, when we are fighting, it's because a need of ours have not been met. But sometimes you are unable to know what need it is.
What it is.
What exactly you
Why
need.
am I
Because you may
upset?
be crying that the tap is not flowing.
Meanwhile, you are just
Meanwhile,
hungry.
you just need to sleep.
Yeah, that too.
Or maybe you just need to eat. Or sometimes you need sugar. Sometimes you just need to hug your partner and you'll be fine. Or you miss somebody. You miss your mother, but you don't even know that you miss your mother because you're not in tune with yourself. You're not listening to your body. You're not listening to your heart. You're not listening to your mind. So you can't even communicate to your partner that this is what I need. So maybe, yes, you like it that he cares about you, but it's becoming excessive. I think, unfortunately, we won't be able to catch it till it's got to the point where you cannot come back. That's unfortunate. But when it happens, you should be able to say, babe, I appreciate you calling me and to check on me and all that, but sometimes when you say it like this, I feel this way.
And your response as babe shouldn't be, then it's okay, I won't call you at all.
Thank you.
Which is like a standard.
You should be able to listen to the feedback and say, okay, then how would you want me to? Or in what way do you think I can best show you that I care for you without having to be excessive
or controlling?
You see, such a communication I'm just sharing an opinion, but it can probably happen when your man...
After sex?
No, please. Not
everything,
after sex.
Everything is easier. Every conversation is easier. Okay. He's half asleep anyway, so he will agree.
Okay, but if that man is not naturally socialized in a certain way under a very toxic and dysfunctional environment, because you see, he grew up seeing daddy shout at mommy, "Where are you?" So to him, it is natural for him to ask, "Where are you?" Because that is where he's able to exercise his dominance over you, to know that I am your spouse. I am your
Come home now.
Yeah, come home now.
I'm waiting
You
to
see,
eat.
so it's about the kind, and it happens a lot. If somebody is brought up in a very dysfunctional and toxic environment, trust me, regardless
will
of
need
how
to
hard you try,
and learn,
yes,
relearn everything.
yes, to change him or to help him or her, evolve and come out of such a thing, it's an uphill task. So one, know yourself, but also know the background of your spouse or of the
Preferably
person.
before you marry them.
Thank you.
But if you ignore a lot of red flags, you see, whilst you are dating, he's shouting, he's doing a few things, he's being aggressive.
He's shouting and you think it's sexy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or he's excessively attached to you and you think that is care. Please, he's looking for space to cut everybody off and abuse you.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's about knowing the background of the other person too. And if you think you can't endure, yesterday I told somebody, please, this one run. Don't think twice. Don't say you are going to take a decision. There's no decision to be made.
There is no
Go, because this is something that has started in a relationship. And before you know it, it is blossomed in a marriage. And when it flowers like that, it's going to bear fruit. And a lot of it. And you will be the sole beneficiary
Of the fruit.
of the fruit. And if it's bitter, you have to eat it for the rest of your life. So know the background of your partner as well, because some people are naturally toxic because of what they have experienced in life and how they have been socialized, the environment in which they grew up. Some boys went through such excessive abuse when they were young or when they were at secondary school. When you meet a lot of boys, they talk about the little bullying, that happened at secondary school. Some of these things really had an impact on them because they were more like initiation rites into manhood.
into toxic masculinity.
Yes. And those things, instead of them teaching them that, men must be this, man, was being used to teach them that if you're a man, you have to dominate like this.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the point where men are mostly the victim of toxic masculinity, but mostly they don't know. They are unable to know how toxic masculinity is even affecting them.
Because they haven't defined what good, pure, beautiful masculinity is. Yeah.
Because you think that having headache just because you are the sole provider and you are the sole protector and you are the man of the house and you are keeping everything to yourself
means that you are
a man.
A lot more men commit suicide
Yeah.
than women, because women, we will talk about our
Agreed.
problems, but men will. Let me just quickly do the messages. Islam, can you do them for me? I think you have a better view.
Okay. Good evening, Animwaa and your knowledgeable panel. Toxic masculinity has been with us since Adam, and in our part of the world, it is so because most of the responsibilities in the society are left for men to perform, even if women can perform. And by so doing, eventually results in men being so powerful in our society. And that is from Ike, the Chancellor from Kumasi. Another one says, good evening, Animwaa and the whole caboodle. Wow, what a word.
Yeah, I know.
Am I getting the weather from Nungwa? Thank you for the message. This is quite an interesting conversation. Please, is it safe to say that toxic masculinity is generational? Like a father will train his son to be toxic just because he was also taught to be same, especially those who are raised in rural areas. Because majority of our Gen Zs, I can say, are learned and slowly moving away from that notion. I stand to be corrected, though. I agree with you that it is generational. Very great discussion this is from Vincent in Accra. It's funny when you see women who complain about masculine toxicity continue raising their sons to be the same way. Please, to be fair to both genders, discuss toxic femininity
All right, okay.
next time. Okay, it also exists. All right. Hi, ladies. We have to let women be women and men be men by nature, with a few overlaps. No matter how educated Indians, Chinese, Nepalese, etc. are, they maintain this balance. Divorce is very low in these cultures because there's no battle for roles. Even 60 plus years ago, divorce was low in the West until they tried to change. Unfortunately, we Africans migrate to the West, switch to the Western way, and divorce has increased in our black communities. Please let women be women by nature and let men be men by nature. Ike in the USA sent it. Okay. Animwaa, your one-sided conversation is so unfortunate.
Oh.
Saying because women contribute 75% more than men, women should rub shoulders with men in terms of leadership, work at home, etc. is absurd. Are you implying that the women who contribute more should be in charge? Then many women will be sorry in their marriages, because any man who contributes more would be or should be a dictatorian. Be balanced in your submission.
I don't know if you caught the whole conversation. Maybe not.
That.
Yeah.
No.
Let's do this last one and then we have
Okay,
to go.
so good evening, beautiful submissions on the topic of toxic masculinity and its effects on society. I agree to an extent that society needs to reform, but sometimes the minority groups play the ostrich because in certain circumstances, women get to take foothold in society and the noise goes down for personal interest. There are multiple ways women, even as they claim to be subdued, also promote toxic feminism in aid around their friends, okay,
and family, but
Yeah.
as sweet like home. Okay, well, thank you all for sending us. That's a long one, yeah. Thank you so much for your messages. A very big thank you to the whole team. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a conversation on toxic femininity. I think it's only fair. My name's Animwaa Anim-Addo. This has been Strong and Sassy. Thank you to Adepa and Esinam. Handing over to the news team for the 8 o'clock news now.